Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the zodiac. The first card will be from the tarot Mucha, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with this week. The second card will be from Madame Endora's fortune cards, and that'll give us some advice on how to deal with the week. So you can follow along with the whole video, or you can skip ahead to the cards that are pulled for your sign. If you do skip ahead, make sure you also jump to the very end, because I'm going to be pulling a universal manifestation card for everybody. So since it is Leo season now, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Leos. Leo, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is the Hermit. So there's a little bit more of an internalized energy over the coming week, less focus on the external world, less worry about other people and about what's going on in other people's lives, and also about what's going on in their heads. You're less worried about what other people think of you this week. A lot more focused on what's going on with yourself, with your own feelings, with your own life, how your thoughts and your feelings are balanced or might be out of balance. You're doing a lot of inner work, and that doesn't leave a lot of room for social connections that don't have any sort of depth to them, at least right now. So surface level interactions and conversations are probably being kept to a minimum. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is Love Reversed. So when this reverses itself as an advice card, it's talking about not sharing too much of your feelings if the person that you're sharing them with isn't going to reciprocate or respond with some sort of balanced energy. So this kind of confirms the internalization of the Hermit energy in focus more on yourself and on your own feelings than what other people are worried about right now. This doesn't mean completely disregard other people's feelings, but you shouldn't have to worry so much about walking on eggshells when you are so focused on what is best for you right now. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is the Queen of Wands reversed. So there's a little struggle over the next week with finding your passion. There might be a sense of feeling really burnt out, unfortunately. Your creativity especially feels like it's just drained. That is the major message of this week for you, Virgo, is feeling like you have no inspiration, no muse, maybe no motivation to get done all of these things that you want to get done. You can see the things that you want to achieve. They're there, they're possible, but there's no motivation to make them actually happen. And when it comes to creating and coming up with ideas for how to manifest, it feels like you're just coming up, blowing out smoke. There's nothing solid for you to build on top of right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Winds of Change. So this is a little bit reassuring with all of this. It takes you out of stagnation. So the advice that comes with the Winds of Change, normally when the Winds of Change show up in a reading, they indicate a universal or cosmic push that takes you out of your situation and puts you where you need to be. But when it shows up as advice, this is what you need to be doing for yourself. So there is something in your life that is actually keeping you stuck, or you yourself are becoming stagnant in some way. So shift it up, do something different, change your schedule, throw out your schedule, try something new, The Winds of Change as an advice card for you this week is about doing something that you're not used to, stepping just a half step outside of your comfort zone to give you some idea of what you can do to manifest the life that you want, or to relight those little flames, those little sparks of inspiration by allowing something new to come into your life. Libra, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So this is a frustrating week in the material world for you, especially where finances, creation, manifestation, money, work, school, all of that is concerned. Right now, it just feels like things aren't moving in the direction that you want them to go in. Actually, they're probably not moving in any direction at all, and that is even more frustrating. It's like if you could see where things were going wrong or where things weren't working, you would be able to know what you could build on. And right now, you're just not able to see anything. There's no development. There's no visible growth. This reversed Ace of Pentacles makes it feel like any projects that you're trying to start, there's just either they're not taking off, or as soon as you get started, it kind of feels like there's this, what's the point energy. Now, the advice that comes along with this, the oracle card that comes with this, is the Green Man, also reversed. So when the Green Man reverses himself as an advice card, it means that you need to make it happen. You can't just wait for something to change, for the shift to come, for the growth to happen on its own. Right now, something needs to be given a little bit of a push, if not forced into motion. This is essentially your car is stalled and you keep turning the key or checking the gas, doing all of the things right, except at this point, now you have to get out of the vehicle and push it. If you want to get to where you're going, you're going to have to take the hard way, not the reasonable way even. It doesn't feel reasonable. It feels uncomfortable and pushed. But that might be what's necessary right now. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is the King of Cups reversed. So, the struggle for you this week, Scorpio, is in holding yourself accountable for how your feelings make you act. This could be really minimal. It could just be having a hard time connecting to your feelings and recognizing the importance that they play in your life and the impact that they have on you right now. Or it could be really problematic and could lead to irresponsibility is the easiest way to say it. Irresponsibility, just not holding yourself accountable, not being the boss of yourself, letting yourself get taken over by your feelings so that you become controlled by them and maybe try to control things in your life or people in your life because of those feelings to avoid the potential negative feelings that could come along with this. Now, the oracle card that comes along today is the Sphinx. So the advice for you, Scorpio, that comes with this card over the coming week is be careful what you wish for. That's the first thing that I always say with this card is be careful what you wish for, because you're probably getting it exactly how you ask. So it's be careful how you wish, not just be careful what you wish. But the other thing that comes along with this over the coming week, be careful how you communicate. Be especially cautious not to be hurtful, because other people just might not understand, especially if you are a little bit emotionally disconnected. You're not, or very likely you're not speaking from the heart or speaking with the most kindness that you can muster right now. So this Sphinx card pops up to remind you to soften yourself, or just be mindful of the words that you use before they come out of your mouth. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is the Six of Swords reversed. So, over the next week, you're probably going to be given opportunities to leave your current state behind. But as you come to this threshold of crossing into the future and leaving behind the past, you're met with some sort of hesitation. Either second guessing if this is the right choice, if you're going in the right direction, if you really deserve this freedom, or wondering if this is just going to give you more of the same that you've already dealt with. So maybe you should just stick with what you've already got. So there's a sense of potential movement, but resisting or hesitating against that movement. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Harlequin. And this is a little bit of a warning card a lot of the time. So as an advice card, it's telling you to be aware that people aren't always what they say. What you are perceiving is only on the surface. So if things feel really uncertain to you, that's probably why. You're not able to see everything clearly. So there is a level of trust that is necessary over this week. If it feels like somebody is, like intuitively, if it feels like someone is lying to you, they probably are. But if this is just your mind playing tricksy games with you, try to ground yourself and see if that is the case. Because there is a lot of confusion over this next week and a hard time seeing things as they are. So it will be important that you stay grounded, but important also to recognize that what you see isn't necessarily what you are getting. What you are perceiving isn't always going to be how things truly are under the surface. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is Judgment reversed. So this is a little bit of a frustrating week for you, Capricorn, because there's opportunity for movement and for like real significant transformation of yourself and your life, and like integrating your experiences so that you don't have to experience them again, actually learning from your lessons. However, over this week, it feels like a lot of those lessons that you've already learned are just coming back to make life difficult. Old feelings, old anxieties and stressors that you thought that maybe you had overcome, triggers that you thought maybe you were over. It's poking at you a little bit, aggravating you, making you worry that this path that you have chosen isn't actually ever going to take you where you want to go, and that you'll always be hovering on this threshold. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Dagger. And this is another warning card. This would be in a predictive state. This would be a big red flag or heads up. But as an advice card, it's more about being kind, being patient. You wield this really powerful tool, but it can cause a lot of damage. So normally this would be about the dagger being used against you and warning you against people who might be wielding things against you right now. So that might be a problem. That might be part of why you are struggling this week, is that someone just doesn't have your best interest at heart right now. But the big risk that comes up right now is that this stress could turn into self-damage, not necessarily self-harm, though that is that could be a risk depending on the person, but self-harm in the sense of just damaging yourself, being unkind to yourself. You're advised to exercise a little bit of compassion, mostly inwards, and boundaries when it comes to those around you. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is the Knight of Swords reversed. So this is potentially a pretty anxious week for you, Aquarius. You've got so much on your mind. You have a lot of ideas. You have a lot of tasks that you feel like you need to accomplish. And a lot of things just aren't getting done. The energy is getting diffused or disoriented. And that leads to confusion, stress, not knowing what to do, and panicking because of it. So you've got this really heavy sense of responsibility on yourself right now, that you've got these things that need to get done. You've got responsibilities to be met, obligations that need to be upheld. And for some reason, things aren't lining up in an easy way to make it so that you can get all these things done the way that you want to. That's really frustrating and potentially a little disheartening. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Stars, also reversed. So the advice that comes with this reversal is a little bit of patience, because good things are coming faster than you think. Normally, with an upright card, it would say to exercise patience because it's coming and it will come when it's ready. When it's reversed, things are actually being sped up a little bit. There might have been delays, and that might be what's causing a lot of the stress, but after the delays, things are kind of pushed or rushed towards you a little bit. So when you are at your height of stress, try to reach for that reminder that even though you can't see the stars right now, they're just hiding. They're just behind the clouds. And in a moment, the wind will blow those clouds away, and you'll be able to see that bright illumination again to show you the way. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is the Four of Wands. So this is a positive one for you, Pisces. It feels like things are actually coming together. Your life is starting to stabilize. Not necessarily that everything is being met in exceptional levels, but stable. Things are moving forward, things are progressing on a level that you are able to start to build on top of. Your structures are taking form, and there's a lot of room for joy here. It feels like you're able to breathe a sigh of relief because you are starting to actually get what you want, and you're able to see the manifestation taking shape, taking form. And that's very comforting. It's very reassuring that the work that you have been doing is going to pay off because it's starting to. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Chalice. And this, as an advice card, is about making sure that you still get enough rest. Fulfillment is very important, and right now it's fulfillment of needs. This Four of Wands is developing, and probably pretty quickly. Things are taking shape, things are moving. You are flowing forward, and as Pisces, it's really easy to just get caught up in that flow. So the Chalice comes in to come in and contain a little bit of that energy, to remind you to contain yourself. Get your resources filled, your needs met. Eat your dinner, drink enough water, take your meds, get your rest. You might be so caught up in the development that you forget to take care of yourself. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your heart. If you need to be connected to the people in your life right now, this is a good time to do it. Aries, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020, is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a good week for starting projects, and starting manifestation practices. If you are wanting to start to see something grow, this is the time to plant those seeds. So on a material or physical level especially, this is a good time to get things just in motion. Don't expect this to be anything that will manifest overnight. This is not sort of an instant gratification energy. The facilitation here is more long-term goals, things that take time, effort, and steady work to produce and manifest into the real world. But this is a really good time to do it. So if you are feeling like starting a new job or taking a job offer, planting seeds, working on manifesting, getting a house, this is the time to start figuring out what it is that you want and how to make that happen. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Harlequin reversed. So for you, Aries, the advice is to be honest, to be really direct, and to show people who you really are. Take your mask off. Express to the world the true, the real you, the version of yourself that you might have been keeping a little bit more reserved, a little bit more private. This doesn't mean necessarily go public with all your secrets, but to be a little bit more open about who you are, who you really are, and what matters to you most. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is the Eight of Cups reversed. So over this next week, the emphasis is on emotional difficulty, dealing with your feelings, and especially feelings that you've probably already tried to deal with. This is something that has been sitting in you for a really long time, something that might be festering into resentment or other sort of a negative, imbalanced energy. It could be grief that you haven't actually given yourself a chance to process and grieve. It could be grief that you have grieved that's just coming back because those are scars that never fully leave us. But over this next week, these feelings that you thought you might have been over, or these emotional connections that you might have thought you'd left behind, are rising back up. You don't have to fully connect with them. You can just nod at them and let them go by instead of integrating them back into yourself. But if you do need to process this, rather than just putting it on the shelf and walking away, this is the time to do it. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Queen. And this is a really positive card. And as an advice card, it tells you to get what you deserve. This is a reaping of the harvest card. This is about prosperity and fertility and the opportunity for growth. So all of that is here, and it's just there for you to take. And the advice is to take it. You deserve this. You've worked for it. You don't have to suffer needlessly. You can walk through these feelings, process them, deal with them with this reversed Eight of Cups that keep coming back up. Deal with them and into the Queen energy and say, fine, I've done this. Now I get my crown and I get to take my throne and I get these things that I've worked for, that I deserve, that I want. So be the Queen. No matter your gender identity, no matter your gender, no matter any of that, be the Queen and just take what is yours. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is the Five of Cups. So over this next week, it's really tempting to dwell on what you don't have, on the needs that aren't being met, the wants that aren't being met, and on lost love, feelings for people that might be unrequited, or connections that you have lost touch with, the people in your life that are no longer really in your life. It feels like there's a sense of mourning or wistfulness, and there is good in your life, and the risk is that you are discounting the good because of the level of the bad that you are paying attention to. You're dwelling more on what you don't have than what you do have, than on the blessings that are present in your life. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Griffin. And as a reminder, this tells you that things are better than you might think. As an advice card, it's very similar. It's reminding you that things aren't as bad as you're perceiving them. This is a luck card. So it's telling you that something is on your side. You can use that. You can use this energy of good luck to take a leap of faith. If you're feeling really miserable and stuck, try to focus on the good that's in your life. Try to focus on yourself even. You've come to this point because of the choices that you've made. And it might be easy to go, oh no, I made the wrong choice because I'm not getting what I want right now. But if you look at the growth that you have undergone, you're being reminded to give yourself a little bit more credit. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of July 26th to August 1st, 2020 is Temperance reversed. So over this next week, you might feel a little disconnected from yourself, from your thoughts, your feelings, the world around you. Everything feels just a little bit disjointed. Your spiritual self, you're probably having a hard time connecting with your intuition, with your sense of your higher self or your guides. So grounding is the most important thing when Temperance reverses. Things aren't making a lot of sense right now. That's okay. Try to take a little bit of pressure off your shoulders to get everything done that you want to be getting done right now, because you're probably just not going to be able to do it. And if you leave that pressure on your shoulders, you're going to crush yourself with the disappointment. The oracle card that comes along this week is the Minstrel reversed. And when he reverses himself, the Minstrel tells you to express a little bit less. Don't be closed off with your communication, but don't be so wide open that you are giving unsolicited advice or expressing your feelings to people who can't handle it. Check if the person that you need to talk to has space for you right now, can hold space for you right now, because maybe they can't. And if you explode with all of your imbalanced feelings, other people might not respond in a way that is helpful or beneficial to you right now. Not just them. This is also about you. So this reversed Minstrel says, maybe put a little bit of a boundary between yourself and everybody else. Express what's going on to the people who you know can handle it, or the people in your life who are there to take on those burdens for you. But if this person isn't already in that position, it's not their job. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation deck, the Super Attractor. So I've just pulled one for everyone who tunes into this video to get an idea of what we should be carrying with ourselves throughout the coming week. So the card that I've got here says, to begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. Let me know in the comments what this says to you. Now, my interpretation, my personal thoughts on this, what it says to me, is that I need to stop forcing things to try and happen. I need to get out of my own way. And especially for me, it's getting out of my own thoughts. Stop letting my doubts tell me what is or what isn't possible for me, because my doubts are always going to undersell. But let me know what this says to you down in the comments below, and you can carry this with you throughout the week. You can meditate on it. You can leave it here, whatever works for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that these readings have been resonant so that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to give you a little bit of extra guidance throughout the coming week. Let me know in the comments down below what stood out to you, what sang to your soul, what you thought of that Super Attractor Motivator card, what you thought of the cards that were pulled for your sign this week. Like the video if it sung to you, and make sure that you subscribe so that you can stay connected for more of these weekly and monthly card pulls. You can also follow me on Facebook at Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I do a daily card pull kind of like these, just one card for everybody to get an idea of what's best for our higher self. And that's also the best way to get in touch with me if you ever want to book a reading of your own. Thank you so much for joining me, and blessed be.